Hello everyone, and welcome to another update on Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. The interviews and announcements we will be covering were released directly from Nintendo, and have a lot of interesting details on how the world of Hyrule will be completely changed, and a possible hint of Zelda being playable. Please give this video a like if you want more videos like this. We're going to be coming out with another video going over details of another interview, revealing even more details about Breath of the Wild 2 tomorrow. So please, look forward to that, and thank you all for your continued support. The interview features Aonuma and 3 other developers of the game. So, the world of Hyrule in Breath of the Wild 2 could be radically different from the original, and I'm not talking about a few small updates, but some areas possibly looking completely different, new, or unrecognizable. And that is if we don't have completely new areas or worlds introduced, such as the tradition of almost every single Zelda game. Whether that is time travel or visiting a world or dimension outside of Hyrule, like the Dark World, Twilight Realm, Termina, Silent Realm, Minish World, and many others that have been introduced throughout the Zelda series. In fact, almost every Zelda game features some form of a second world or time travel, so it was a bit odd when Breath of the Wild didn't have any. But then again, it did have more than enough area in Hyrule to keep players busy. Today's source is Video Gamer. They say, Nintendo says Breath of the Wild sequel will deliver new gaming experiences. Nintendo is looking to offer new gaming experiences with the sequel of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as revealed in an interview with 3 designers who worked on the first game. A sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was a surprise announcement at E3 this year. Actually, no, it was not a surprise at all. The trailer, yes, was a surprise. But Nintendo announced they were working on Breath of the Wild 2 not that long after the release of the original. Anyways, continuing on, it was originally planned to be a DLC addition to the critically acclaimed entry to the series, but it became clear that the team had bigger ideas. Producer Aonuma said DLC is not enough, and that's why we thought maybe a sequel would be a good fit. Initially, we were thinking of just DLC ideas, but then we had a lot of ideas and we said, this is too many ideas. Let's just make one new game and start from scratch. Now, right there, an interesting quote. The entire world of Hyrule is already complete. In the memories of what happened 100 years ago, there is a complete Hyrule Castle town and other villages that are complete that we do not get to see or visit, only in cutscenes. So they technically have 2 different versions of Hyrule that are basically complete. Why would they need to start from scratch with a new world? Very interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Could it be that we're going to actually be traveling to or having an interactive memory instead of just viewing the memory through a cutscene or the Sheikah Slate? Or could we visit an entirely new world like the Sacred Realm or Dark World, Termina, a return to the Twilight Realm? After all, there is a mirror that does look suspiciously like the Twilight Mirror, and we even have the ruins of the Arbiter's grounds. And all of Hyrule could be completely restored at the snap of a finger. Well, technically, by the wish on a Triforce. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. I don't think Nintendo would actually do this, but technically they could. One of the reasons we wanted to create a continuation was because I wanted to revisit that Hyrule again and use that world again, while incorporating new gameplay and new story, he explained. A little light has been shed on the new gameplay coming to the sequel, sourced from a Nintendo interview with 3 Breath of the Wild designers. They discussed the development journey of the first game and chatted about job openings at the studio. Once again, comment below. Let me know what you think this new gameplay that they will be incorporating will be. The continuation is in development at the moment. For now, we cannot comment much about the game, but our goal is to offer new gaming experiences that exceed those of the previous game. So we will need the skills of many people to create this new game. That's the reason we are looking for new terrain designers at Nintendo. The interview read, the Breath of the Wild sequel will use the same map as its predecessor, but with a possible twist to explore Hyrule to its fullest extent. What will this twist be? I know it's getting annoying, But comment below, let me know your thoughts on this twist. I really want to dissect all of the fans who played Breath of the Wild or other Zelda games and learn what they believe Breath of the Wild 2 could be, based off of actual interviews, not just speculation. New terrain designers insinuates a new look or new features coming to the familiar locales of the world, which adds to rumors that Ganondorf will make an appearance in the next game. That is ridiculous. Of course he's going to make an appearance. He's literally in the very first trailer. Literally. His resurrection could alter the environment and could cause Link and Zelda to be separated, allowing Zelda to become the playable protagonist. When asked about that particular prospect, Aonuma simply said, quote, "I can't tell you." Fans fell in love with Zelda's new bob, but eagle-eyed developers theorized that the chop is for a different reason than a new style, taking her hair to this length mimics Link's hair, and so it would conceivably make it a lot easier to animate Zelda by copying Link's animations to her new model. But that's just a shot in the dark. Unless, question mark. For now, we will just have to sit tight and see what Nintendo has in store for the sequel. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening will be headed to Nintendo Switch on September 20th, so if you're chomping at the bit for more Zelda, you won't have to wait much longer. Well, this interview is kind of old, and Link's Awakening has already came out, but if my sources are correct, we're going to be seeing another Zelda game before Breath of the Wild 2, and coming kind of soon. But then again, that was all before this pandemic happened, so I don't really know what to expect for announcements at E3 this year. Maybe Nintendo will go ahead and post the Nintendo Direct that they would have had planned for E3. Maybe they'll change it up a bit. Maybe they'll do something completely different. Who knows? But I am looking forward to it, and looking forward to see if the same source that told me that Nintendo was planning to have 3 different Zelda games, including Breath of the Wild 2, shown off at last year's E3, is also correct about Zelda games to expect at this year's E3 Nintendo Direct. So overall, I ask you, how do you feel about Zelda possibly being a playable character because Aonuma has hinted at it, as well as Breath of the Wild 2 being an online multiplayer Zelda game several times? Like, it's not something he said just once, it's something that he's said a lot, that he's been wanting to do this. And we have statements from the CEO or president of Nintendo backing this up. So it's going to be interesting to see the new gameplay aspects they introduce. And going to the second part of this video, how do you feel about these new terrain designers being added? If it was a little change to the world of Hyrule, I don't think Nintendo would be hiring new level or terrain designers. They could use the people they already have to just tweak or change the world a little bit. But the fact that they're having to reach out and hire new people, especially since Breath of the Wild 2's development team is already a lot bigger than Breath of the Wild's original development team, so the fact they are hiring even more people, I expect it's going to be a lot of changes. We've already seen Hyrule Castle rise up out of the ground, and of course they have to show what the crater underneath Hyrule Castle and everything else looks like. Maybe it'll be, and this is a theory that a lot of people have, that it will be the central access point to an underground tunnel or underground world, which is actually already canon in the Zelda universe. We already have Sub Rosia, which is an underground world already beneath the land found in the game Oracle of Seasons. And Breath of the Wild already has hundreds of underground labyrinths, or paths and dungeons, with all of these shrines that appear in the game. So I'm wondering if there is actual villages or other areas aside from these shrines that were built underneath the ground in Breath of the Wild. And let's not forget, a lot of other Zelda games featuring Hyrule, not just Holodrum from Oracle of Seasons, has had a lot of underground areas to explore, or structures built underground. But I don't think that's it. I think we're going to see empty areas that existed in Hyrule being completely changed, as well as old areas that had villages or towns, as well as parts of Hyrule Castle being slowly rebuilt, as I mentioned with Terry Town and all of that is what they are going to be using these new terrain or level designers for, and I'm looking forward to it. Once again, let me know what you guys think about all of this, comment below. Please give this video a like if you want more videos like this. We're going to be coming out with another video going over details of another interview, revealing even more details about Breath of the Wild 2 tomorrow. So please, look forward to that, and thank you all for your continued support. That's it for now, but a lot of rumors, news, and details are slowly leaking out. So please, stay subscribed and notified, and join our Discord to make sure you stay up to date on all Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 news. And you can find our Zelda podcast, the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, here on YouTube and on iTunes, where we have had many guests who have worked on the Zelda series, and have shared a lot of amazing stories about voice acting, such as Patricia Somerset voice acting as Zelda, Mike Drucker on Zelda's writing or translation team, coming up with the jokes in the game, stories behind the names of characters that he created. Please subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you. If you are a fan of our Zelda videos like this, Zelda Theories, our Zelda podcast, the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐽 on iTunes, we would all really appreciate your support at patreon.com/GameOverJesse. That and buying our t-shirts will get you and your YouTube or Twitch a shout out every week on our 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐽. And if you send in a photo of yourself in our GameOverJesse or 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐽 t-shirt, we can use it for promotion at the end of some of our videos.